Good morning. Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the Sunday Movie Marathon.
What movie was that of?
The Truman Show, that was.
See, I still need to watch that. I've heard it's really good. That's with Jim Carrey, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah, I watched like a movie review of it, and it looked really good. So, is it on Netflix or Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Netflix at the moment.
Cool. I'll give that a watch after we've done this podcast. Then
maybe that should be your recommendation if you haven't picked one.
Yeah, fair enough. Truman Show. Spoiler alert.
Maybe. We write that down just so we don't forget. So this week, a little out of the box, as we do on the podcast, we like to shake it up a bit, give the people something different. And we're not doing recommendations this week because we didn't recommend anything last week, because this week is about 2020 wrapped, as it were, for the Sunday Movie Marathon, a podcast that has been going now for 10 episodes. How about that? Brilliant.
Yeah.
So we're going to do our own wrap-up.
It's funny, isn't it, that we finished the year on double digits?
Yeah. Something nice about that.
I'm pretty sure we've nearly surpassed Chris's Cold to the Touch podcast.
Yeah, we got to
we're on our way.
13, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cursed number.
And I think on my own podcast, I'm on episode 18, so I really need to get them pumping out again before this takes over.
Yeah, for sure.
I may just re-upload these podcasts onto my own.
You can't do that.
Remove everyone else's voices so it's just you.
Just me talking about movies by myself. Yeah, good point. I agree. So, yeah, this week we're just going to take a look over the movies that we've watched as far and reviewed in the last 9 episodes. We're going to rank our top 5 movies that we've watched this year. Well, that we've reviewed on the podcast, which I think when we do this next year, we'll have a better pool to choose from, because we've only done like 7 or 6 actual marathon episodes. So when I was trying to choose my list, I was like, Cornetto trilogy. What else did we do?
That's about it, I guess. Episode 1.
Yeah, literally. So we'll go through our top 5s each, have a discussion, then we're just going to talk about TV shows and films that we've watched throughout the year that we've enjoyed.
Epic.
Hopefully next year there'll also be a bigger pool of like films to choose from, because more will come
out.
Yeah, with Cinema being in the state it's in at the moment, it has not been that much. But when you said about reviewing or talking about shows that we've watched this year, do they have to be new shows? Because I've put a show down that came out in like the 90s.
We can do that. Sure.
Yeah.
Can do a little bit of that.
I was going to just say, like, yeah, focus on new shows, but you can bring up other things that you've watched.
I was going to say, because I'd have to cross everything out, and I'll only have The Boys Season 2, which we've already discussed.
Yeah. That's all right.
So, should we kick this list off? Should we go in reverse order today? So I'll go first and Chris goes last.
Ooh. Interesting. Sure. Let's spice it up.
Yeah, spice it up. How do you want to do it as well? Do you want to... Should we do one each, or are we just going to list our top 5, and then we'll have a discussion about each one's top 5 list?
We should do... I say one each, and then go around.
Yep. All right.
This is stuff we probably should have planned out before recording.
No, this is... Spontaneity is the best. But so this is for the top 5 movies we reviewed this year on this podcast, and I don't think this is going to be any surprise. Now, I've put the Cornetto trilogy down as one group together because I didn't want it to take up three movie spots. But I don't want to say that's my number 1 film of the year that we've reviewed, because it's very typical. Like, I think we were all going to... It's my favourite movies anyway. So, excluding the Cornetto trilogy, my number 1 spot is In Bruges.
Whoa, nice.
Yep. I I will not lie. Even after watching Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End, I do think In Bruges is the best movie that I've watched this year.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, obviously it's the one
Was.
with Colin Farrell in it.
Yeah.
And the hitmen that run away to Bruges. But yeah, the film itself, we've already spoken about it. The humor, the acting, everything about it was just really good, and I found it really entertaining. So it's on my number one spot.
Very nice. Yeah. That was a great movie. I recommended that after like maybe 2 weeks since first watching it, and I was like, I could easily watch that again. So I just recommended it, and yeah, fun for all the family.
Did you watch it 2 weeks? Oh, I don't fucking think it's fun. You see him midging it, his head blown off.
Yeah. I'd watch it with my family.
Yeah, but the youngest person in your family is like what? Like 12, 20?
18.
That's the one.
That's all right. It's an 18.
There you go. Fun for all of Chris's family.
And mine.
Fun for the family of your families all grown up.
Yeah. It's fun for very specific family members and families around the world.
Yeah, I don't think that my mum would enjoy it, to be honest.
Max, your mum doesn't enjoy
neither.
these podcasts.
Well, she'll tune in every so often.
Although Max's mum listening to 200 and something minutes of the podcast is a lot better than his dad listening to 6.
Yeah. Sure is. Yeah.
And that was probably background noise. Like he's having a chat or something. He's like, oh, fucking hell, is this still on? Pause.
I think he just thought, I'll give it a go, listen to 6 minutes of it, and then just dipped out. I don't think podcasts are really his type of thing, because even with the 6 minute listening time, that was his top podcast for the year.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh, God. Maybe we need to get this podcast like people's number ones next year. That should be our goal.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So, Max, what's your number one spot of the movies we've reviewed as far?
My number one spot, again, I would also say, if I wasn't discounting it, then the Cornetto trilogy, Hot Fuzz was my favourite from those. But instead, I'm going to go my top favourite, recommended on the podcast, Birdman.
Oh, no way, that's the one that I recommended.
It is not. You were not there for that discussion. But that's a great movie. I had seen it before, but you pick up on more every time you watch it. And we said during the discussion, Chris and I, that you should watch it, Connor, because I do think that you would enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I was listen to that, and I have been meaning to watch it. There's a few movies that I still need to watch. Tropic Thunder's another one, so I've never actually seen that. So maybe I'll actually. I don't think I've watched any shows or films from that episode that you and Chris did.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Jesus let me back for the day again. He said it's Christmas time, so just
nice.
Let me come down. I don't know what it's going to be like in the new year. He's been a bit of a cunt lately.
Oof. That guy burns me up.
Yeah, all because I beat him at a game of Uno.
You play the reverse card on him.
Well, yeah, I was like, bro,
he says now I have to return you.
The fucking reverse card is nothing for you.
But I thought if you beat the devil in a game of chess or something and you come back to life, is it not the same with Jesus?
Well, I didn't play chess with him, so I wouldn't know.
No, but I mean just any game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the thing is if you play, it's the song "Devil Went Down to Georgia," where it's if you play the fiddle with the devil, you win a prize. But do you ever watch the show? Oh damn, I can't remember now. It was a show on E4 where it's basically this guy has to work for the devil because his parents sold his soul to them, and it's a comedy. I'll have to try and find the name and let you know the next episode. But that was really good. That was about people winning games against the devil.
Nice. So, Chris.
Yeah. So everyone was talking about the Cornetto trilogy and how they didn't put it on their list, but instead I put Shaun of the Dead at number 1 on my list because it's a great film. It's one of my favourite films.
Cornetto trilogy is on our lists. Else I'd only have 4 spots. It's just I didn't put it as number 1 because it'd be very obvious.
Well, I thought I'd just pick it anyway at number 1 because it's probably the best film we've talked about.
Which one did you go? Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm so glad
love
Max
Hot Fuzz as well. It's very close for me.
Yeah, it's a neck and neck with that one. I'm so glad that Max has finally changed his mind and he's not like, World's End is the best of the trilogy.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't like berate anyone for thinking that it was, you know.
No, I wouldn't berate anyone, but I definitely judged you and nearly threw up in my mouth when you said it.
It's a good movie, goddammit.
Yeah,
it's still a great movie.
You've gone back on your word.
Yeah,
pretty sure you liked it a lot
16.
more, Connor, when we rewatched it and talked about it, though.
I think that's mainly because like obviously I was with you two and I was talking about like doing like I'm pretty sure at that point during the year I was still planning to do a pub crawl for my birthday. And I was like, that really got me in the mood for it. And then Boris shut us down the day before.
Oh dear. What a year.
And then we recorded this podcast, so it works out.
Take that, Boris. One step ahead of you.
Yeah, although he's fucked our plans up for meeting up tomorrow, which we were going to do this podcast in person, but then we got moved into a new tier that didn't exist before.
Yeah. Because we were so terrible.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, you know what it is. Maybe it's because you said World's End was your favourite of the trilogy and Boris is like, nah, fuck this. Shutting you down.
Maybe.
So what's your number 2, Connor?
So my number 2 is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
So
nice.
Yep. Like I said, I didn't expect that movie to be in the time setting that it was filmed in. I was like expecting something relatively old, like very early in RDJ's career. And yeah, as we said before in the podcast, again, the acting, the chemistry was very good. I like seeing Robert Downey Jr. play not his typical role, even though it was very close to what he does usually play. And it was fun to see people call him a fucking idiot all the time. I still love the line where it's like, go look idiot up in the dictionary. What would you find? Is it a picture of me? No, the definition of idiot, which is what you are. Just
that was a great line.
Yeah. But like, I'll say this, right? I think this year of movies has definitely opened my mind up to watching different genres, because there's other than the Cornetto trilogy, all the other films on here are films that I didn't recommend, and if you compare them to films that I'd usually watch, they are nothing similar to it. So I think it's good for the old movie diversity, so I'm not watching the same shit all the time.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, man.
Always good to broaden your horizons.
I think after we mention all of our top 5s, we should nominate who done or who recommended the best movies, and then we'll get them like a prize.
Yeah.
It will. It's definitely not going to be me.
Maybe not.
Come on, I recommended Puppy Star Christmas.
That should be an award in and of itself, that we all had to sit through that.
Most likely member to get kicked out because of bad recommendations. There should be a criterion now. If you recommend like 3 bad movies in a row, you're off the podcast. Just leave.
Yeah, suspended for an episode.
Yeah, and then if you do it again, you've got to off yourself.
Oh dear. Who's next?
It's you, Max.
That'll be you.
'Tis I. Number 2. I mean, this one was Connor's
Two
number
issue
1.
drink.
In Bruges.
Yeah, again,
Yeah,
just a fantastic movie.
Yeah, very good.
What was your... Oh, The Birdman was your number one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good second pick. If that's not in Chris's top 3, I don't know what I'm going to do.
We're going to
Probably,
have
like,
some problems.
poo for his letterbox or something.
Hell yeah. A nice Christmas treat. My number 2 is Birdman. Another one of my all-time favourite films. The reason I picked it was actually because I knew Max had watched it, but I thought it would be something that Connor would like, something that's very outside of the sort of thing he watches normally.
Do you know what? I'll
yes.
watch it before we do the next episode, and then I'll give like a 2-minute review of what I think of it.
It's when you watch it, you like really hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm going to encapsulate 45 minutes and condense it down into 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was good, I
wish you
guess. It was
luck.
pretty good. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it when the credits rolled at the end and I could turn it off.
I like the bird.
I didn't get it. For a film called Birdman, there's not a lot of birds in it.
That's
have
what
you
you
guys
think.
seen that picture going round? And it's like Piers Morgan confirms that he is not the bird lady from Home Alone 2.
Yeah. That was great.
Like, is that real? Has he had to make a statement saying that he's not the...
Now, I'm pretty sure he did tweet it because people keep asking him.
It looks an awfully lot like him.
Yeah, it does.
It did, yeah.
Right. So, my number 3... so if we're doing this in order of like best to worst, this one's a bit of a tough one, but I'm gonna have to go with my number 3 place in the position that it was just because of how hilarious the ending was, and that is the first Dusk Till Dawn movie.
Nice.
Yeah, that again was a surprisingly good watch for me, considering what I usually am into. And like we all said, the beginning part of that film was absolutely amazing. Very, very good. And then the second half just got very bizarre. And even though it was a very jarring change of pace and tone of the movie, it was still a fun watch. I'd happily watch it again.
Yeah, it's an entertaining movie. Nothing amazing, but it's fun.
Yeah.
With a lot of vampires and a lot of feet.
Don't spoil it.
I mean, that's the hook, is it not? The feet? I mean, the vampires?
Yeah. That's
Spoiler
why you
alert.
watch a Tarantino film, is for the endless amounts of feet.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Tarantino's into foot fetishes or into feet. I'm shutting your butt down. Max, what's your number 3 spot?
My number 3 spot is Picnic at Hanging Rock. That movie is awesome.
Oh,
I love it.
That was on the episode that I wasn't on again, wasn't it?
Yep, unfortunately
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, but it's on YouTube, you know, anyone can watch it. After I watched that movie again, I was like, I'm getting the Blu-ray, and I got the Blu-ray now. It's got loads of goodies, loads of extras on it, that I can't wait to delve into. Yeah,
That's
very
very
mysterious.
good. That's very good. What was that about again? Because I remember you guys talking about it, but I was just so hyped up on the 45-minute review of Birdman that I forgot.
It was about some girls from a college who go up to a mysterious rock for a picnic.
Does
And,
one go missing?
A few of them do, and it's about
right.
the mystery around that and the
Okay,
investigation. Yeah, good movie. Would recommend.
Christopher,
Yeah.
your number 3 spot.
My number 3 is In Bruges. I know you guys said you're hoping it was in the top 3, and
Yeah.
luckily for my letterbox, it is.
Bullshit. He's just, as soon as I said that, he's like, fucking hell, screw it out.
Moves it around, yeah.
No, I
Mate,
really liked In Bruges. It was a
His
lot of
number
fun.
3 spot was definitely Ninja Dragon, and he's just had to change it. If none of you remember that masterpiece of a movie, go back and watch the episode. It was hilarious.
And what a movie that was.
Yeah.
God.
I had the pleasure of rewatching it the other day while writing a video about it.
Nice.
That was one of the very last ones that we watched together, wasn't it? Oh no, we haven't reviewed that episode, have we?
Yeah. That was the last one we watched, last marathon we watched together.
Do you know what? It's been so long that I didn't realise that we had actually watched movies together and then recorded episodes together. I thought it's just all been done over Skype.
We watched the films together and recorded it over here.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we got put into lockdown again.
The last film we watched together was Godsend.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, God. Wow. At least we've been following the rules, boys.
Yeah. Pretty sure now we've done more episodes not together than we have together. Yeah.
I was saying this to Chris the other day, that we've recorded more episodes via Skype and Discord than we have here in person now.
Yeah, we only did 4 episodes together.
Yeah. It's going to be better when we get back in person together. First of all, Chris is not going to have to edit it anymore, and it would just be so much easier to not have to wait for someone to reply, and you're like, oh, is someone going to talk? Is someone not going to talk?
That'd be nice.
I guess that brings us on to the number 4 slot, yeah?
Yeah.
My number 4 slot is Godsend. No, I'm joking. It's not. My number 4 spot is Blue Ruin.
Ooh.
Again,
That's
a film
spicy.
about a man getting revenge on a family that killed his father. Very good. It's one of the... See, the annoying thing is, a lot of our top 5s are going to be very similar just because we haven't really reviewed that many movies, so the pool that we have to choose from is very limited. But... they're all good movies, and I think Blue Ruin again was it's probably one of the most surprising movies that I watched this year. Just because I thought it was going to be absolute dog shite, but then I also thought it was going to be very different to the type of revenge movie that actually was, and I was surprised that it kept me engaged for as long as it did. So the whole movie. So that was a very good recommendation by Chris.
Yeah,
it was.
I like that film a lot.
Yeah. All of these films that are in my top 5, I would happily watch again.
Yeah.
Even now, despite the fact that we watched them relatively early on, I would, especially In Bruges, I would happily watch In Bruges again.
Oh, yeah. Very rewatchable, that is. Just a fun time.
I think when we get to meet back up in person, there's 2 things we need to do. We need to finish off the iCarly drinking marathon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Which I said to Chris the other day that we never actually finished. And we should all watch In Bruges together, but every time Colin Farrell gets called an idiot or makes a joke, we should just take a drink. Because by that
Starting
point,
off the year
Max,
right.
your incelness should be gone, so you can drink again.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, who's up next?
It is you again, Max. Your
Tis
number 4
I.
spot, please, good sir.
My number 4 spot. Speaking of movies that we'd watch again, I did watch this movie again, almost immediately after we watched it, The Piano. I really liked it. More the second time, I think. And I don't think it's the best movie in the world. I don't think it's amazing, but I did like it. I did like it a lot. So, and I would watch it again, maybe in a year or something. I'm not rushing back to see it, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, got the Blu-ray as well.
Funnily enough, that movie would also be in the top 3 of mine, but it would be in the top 3 worst movies I've seen this year.
Wait.
Number 1 being Midsummer.
Did you see that this year?
No, I haven't watched it this year, but I'll make an exception because it was such a god-awful movie.
Right.
My number 4 is also The Piano.
Wait.
Oh, very good, very good. 4 is
Resonated
horse. I
deeply
think
with
you
me.
both have to drink.
Did it?
No, I'll give Piano a hard time, but Piano was a interesting movie. A few technical issues or technical choices that I didn't agree with, but all in all, it wasn't the worst that we've watched this year.
Definitely not.
Yeah. I want to get the Blu-ray sometime so I can rewatch it because I did really enjoy it.
What's that website that you guys go on about, like Criterion or something?
Yeah, Criterion.
What's that?
They
That's
basically release like special edition versions of films that have like really high quality transfers and loads of different like special features and stuff. It's basically like for hardcore film collectors.
Ah, okay. Are they quite expensive compared to the like Blu-ray versions?
They're a little bit more, yeah, I would say so. Brand new, they're quite expensive.
Yeah.
Say if they did like a Criterion version of like Nightmare on Elm Street, would they like interview Robert Englund in like 2020 about the film? Or would it just be interviews that they've done around the time?
Well, they normally would use both. The thing that they normally do Criterion is they have like loads of special features and like documentaries and stuff made at the time of release and throughout the years since, and modern stuff as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it depends, because I've got a few Criterion Blu-rays. So for the Criterion of the Royal Tenenbaums, one of those special features is like a making of sort of featurette that you get to watch them making the movie, but with and also you've got different interviews as well with people who worked on the movie, and but with something like my Criterion Blu-ray of Stalker, you don't really get a making of because everybody who made that movie like died, I guess, like horribly. They all got cancer, but they've got like the people who worked on it like at the time and who didn't die, I guess, talking about like the music and the cinematography and just everything they put into it, talking about the director who was crazy. Yeah.
Did you guys hear about that film? That was I don't know where it was filmed, but there was like a nuclear test site like miles away from the actual set, but because of the strong winds it blew like radiation towards the cast and set. And like 91 of the actors or crew got like cancer, and like 40 of them died because of it. Like years and years later.
That's crazy, man. That's sort of like what happened with Stalker.
Yeah, they took sand from the set back to the studio so they could get a more consistent shot to match in with the continuity of the film, and it just exposed them to even more radiation. And yeah, like a lot of them got cancer. The director died from it.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
Yeah, mad one, ain't it? I think the city that they filmed in got sued because they were like, yeah, no, you're absolutely fine to film there, don't worry about it. And then like bam, decade later, like loads of them died.
God, the lengths people go to make their art, astounding it is.
Yeah, well, I don't think they actually knew at the time, Max, they were all going to die.
No, yeah.
Unlike the film Raw that me and Max watched, where it's just like filmed entirely in like a big house where there's just like tigers and lions just walking around.
Yeah.
Is that the
physically
one where
hurting
like,
people?
Some of the cast like got attacked by tigers on set.
Yeah.
All of the cast got attacked by lions and tigers.
Really?
Everyone got attacked. Yeah. That was a crazy movie.
Fuck.
No, I don't think anyone actually died, but multiple people were like critically wounded and like had to have loads of plastic surgery and stuff to fix the damage that had been caused.
Yeah. That was like one of the most. That was probably the scariest movie I've ever seen. Not because like it's a horror movie, but it was just the situation that they're in is horrific and horrifying.
Do they use like any of the actual shots of the cast getting attacked in the film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you see it.
No way. What's this film called? Raw.
Raw. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
I was going to say I'm going to be YouTubing some of these clips later on today.
Yeah.
Right, I guess that brings us on to the number 5 slot, yeah?
Yeah.
So my number 5 slot is just going to be the Cornetto trilogy. Again, I would put this as number 1, but I really didn't want to be predictable, and I wanted to have a better discussion about the movies. But yeah, If I had to choose one of the trilogy, it would be Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, followed by World's End.
Nice.
Just can't go wrong with the Cornetto trilogy.
You cannot. Not at all.
Nah. I think, like, near the end of next year, we should watch it again and do a re-release of the review, because episode 1, we were all pretty fucking miserable.
Yeah, I can't listen to that episode anymore.
Yeah, it wasn't the best, our best performance, so maybe, like, halfway through next year, we'll watch it again and give a better review of it.
I don't think we'd really figured out the flow of the show properly yet. We were still kind of like learning as we were going, and then when we got to episode 2, we were much more in the zone and we knew what we were going to do.
I think it's just more down to the fact that me and Max weren't really fucking happy at the time. So I don't know about Max, but I weren't. Max wasn't comfortable on the mic.
Help, but...
He wasn't MC Macca at the time.
No, I was not. Not the prolific MC I am today, as you see before you.
What would your DJ name be, Max, if you had to choose one?
Something to do with Macca Packer.
Yeah.
DJ Macca.
Do you know what I originally planned for this podcast title to be called? Like, instead of the Sunday Movie Marathon, or what I originally planned.
Oh?
I was going to suggest MC squared, because Max, Chris and Connor, two C's is our initials, squared.
Oh, very clever.
But then I thought people would just think like we're a sciencey podcast and they'd listen like, what the fuck are these idiots talking about movies?
Yeah. We'll save it for the band name.
That's just what I was about to recommend. Max, what's your number 5 slot, my bro?
My number 5 slot is a movie that we've already talked about before. It is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Yeah.
Ooh, very, very
good movie.
Good recommendation, Chris.
Yeah. Funnily enough, my number 5 pick is also Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Brilliant. Wow.
Did you both have the same number 4 and number 5 slot?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe you should just get together.
Can't do that, unfortunately.
I'm pretty sure our top 5 films were the exact same, just in a different order.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, I think all of ours were, but I just got like 2 different movies other than you.
Yeah.
Right, so let's discuss who gave the best recommendations this year for the Sunday Movie Marathon podcast.
God, I don't know.
Well, it's a bit of a tricky one because it's definitely not going to be me because there were some dog show films that I recommended. So it's just really out of you two. So who are you two voting for?
I'm gonna go Chris, probably. I don't have like the whole list up right now, but probably Chris.
Yeah, I'll go myself also.
Oh, fuck you. You were supposed to say me.
I was really hoping he was going to say himself. It would be so funny. I don't know, it's a tricky one. I want to say Max because he recommended In Bruges, which is a very good film.
Yeah, to be fair, I think I enjoyed more of Max's than mine.
Yeah, I'm going to change my answer to me. Thanks, guys. Really liked him. Because all I was thinking about in that moment was like, oh yeah, well, Chris recommended Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and I recommended Black Christmas and I like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang more. But overall, I think I liked a lot of my recommendations a little bit more.
Probably why you recommended them, Max.
Yeah. Because Black Christmas I hadn't seen before. But I still enjoyed it.
What fucking idiot would recommend movies that they do not like Puppy Star Christmas?
You didn't know you didn't like it. You could have like watched it and like surprisingly had a great time.
Could have been great.
I should have fucking known. Should have known.
Or like watching it gave you like Stockholm syndrome. So by the end you're like, this is amazing.
No, watching that film gave me a stroke.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, no, it was awful.
Like a panic attack.
I'll have to say Max as well.
Epic. And you know what? More great recommendations to come, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it an effort of mine to not recommend shit movies next year.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll actually think of some good ideas and do my research on good movies. So, guys, I've heard of this film called Pup Star.
Oh.
It's got the actress from Friends who plays Mona in it. Can't believe that. I was pissed the other night. Just looking through the IMDb for the season 8, episode 1 of like Friends, and I was like, "Fucking hell, this girl's been in Pup Star." It's like your career really took a nosedive after this cameo, didn't it?
After those few episodes she did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we're going to talk about some movies that we saw this year. Sadly, cinemas were closed for the majority of it, so we didn't get to go to the cinema as much as we would have liked. Well, that being said, I actually went to the cinema quite a lot. Just to see like old movies, because there weren't really many new movies being released, because nobody would have gone and seen them.
New Mutants came out this year.
Oh, it bloody did, yeah. Oh, yes, it did.
So, like you, Max, I don't know. You've been to the cinema quite a lot.
Yeah.
Pardon me. But I honestly can't tell you, other than when you two have just mentioned movies, what actually came out this year. So, the only one I can really talk about at the moment is the Sonic movie that me and Chris saw in February.
Nice. How was it?
It was a very disappointing movie to end actually going to the cinema before the whole lockdown and pandemic started. I always say that the best part about that night was getting pissed afterwards and turning up to work 2 hours late the next day.
Yeah, by the end of that night, I'd pretty much forgotten the entirety of the film. And I still don't really remember any of it. It was very forgettable. All I really remember is that there was a lot of really weird innuendos, especially like said by Jim Carrey, because he plays Dr. Eggman. And he's actually not that bad, to be fair.
No, I remember at the beginning of the movie when I looked at Chris and I went, I fucking swear to God, if anyone flosses during this movie, I'm going to go mad. And then like halfway through the movie, Sonic just like takes down a truck and then he just started flossing and I just instantly got mad and Chris burst out laughing. It's just so predictable that something like that was going to happen.
It also opens with that really hilarious movie trope where like there's action going on, suddenly like it pauses and the music cuts out and he goes, "Hey, you may be wondering how I got here."
I was just imagining Barbara O'Reilly playing in the background of that. Like some Dukes of Hazzard sort of thing.
Yeah, it's not a very good film. Like, I guess it's better than I expected it to be. Because I went into it expecting like it to be an absolute train wreck. But it was just kind of just mediocre at best. Just an average kids movie.
Well, precisely that, Chris. It's an average kids movie. Me and Chris went in as two 20-something-year-olds, and we were surrounded by parents and their young kids.
Yeah.
So we probably looked like a bunch of fucking weirdos seeing that movie.
It's always awkward when that happens. That happened to me with the Lego movie.
Did you go on your own?
I went with a couple of mates to that one. But the rest of the audience was just kids and their parents.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. And then me and Chris were laughing at like the parts that no one else was, and it's just because it was really bad or ironic.
Yeah.
Well, those little kiddies were probably really liking it though.
Yeah, they were laughing at like the jokes. We were like dying inside.
It wasn't very good.
I think the last movie I saw in the cinema was before the first lockdown, at least, was Parasite. I don't count that as a movie from this year because it mainly got a release last year. But that was a great movie to go out on, at least. I really like that.
For me, it was The Shining. That was the last film I saw in the cinema before the lockdown.
It's not a new movie, though, is it?
No, but I saw it before the lockdown.
Wait, when did you go? Did you go see that after Sonic then?
Yeah, I saw it literally less than a week before the lockdown was announced.
Ooh.
Oh my.
God, can you guys remember the first lockdown when it was announced?
Yeah. We were playing Call of Duty when it got announced.
Yeah, I was really excited because I was like, oh, fuck yes, I get some time off work. And then 4 months later, I lost my job and was like, oh, maybe it wasn't the best thing.
Oh man, this is bad. This virus is a bad thing. Oh man.
Well, I don't think anyone expected it to fucking last this long, did we? It wouldn't have if people fucking listened.
We're going to be saying that at the same time next year. Like, well, I didn't think it would last this long. December 2021.
Max, we got 3 months, and then it would be like a year process of we like 4 months in lockdown, a couple out, then another month in lockdown, then like a week out, and then tier 4.
Yeah,
rough.
We've passed a year since the virus was first reported now.
Yeah, definitely since the virus was reported, but not since I think I always class it as when we went into lockdown as when shit really hit the fan, and that was March 20th. Probably the worst time. No, it was like March 23rd because I got my hair bleached on the 20th, and then I had to go 4 months without a haircut, and my hair just got really horrid, and then I gained a bunch of weight and I looked really bad. Funny enough, I can see a picture of it behind Max.
Oh yeah. Got my nice green screen type effect with Connor eating his beef or whatever.
Yeah, cold beef out of a Tupperware container. God, there's just a really low point in our lives, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, you can tell from your face.
Talking about low points of our lives, let's talk about New Mutants.
Yeah, should we go from like the worst movies we've seen this year? Because I got a few, to be honest. The New Mutants is on there.
Are they new movies? Because I've only seen 2 new movies this year, I believe.
Yeah, I've
You
got
saw The Sleepover.
Can I talk about? Oh, I thought you meant like new releases.
Yeah, The Sleepover was a new release.
It was.
Can I talk about Star Wars Episode 9, even though that was released last year?
Yeah, go ahead.
That was just a very bad movie. I was watching clips of that last night on YouTube because I was watching a few. I don't know what it was. I got recommended a video, like a fan-made video of Darth Vader versus Kylo Ren, and it was really good. And then I just went to get down a rabbit hole of watching clips from the Star Wars movies, mainly from Episodes 7, 8, and 9. And then I got to Episode 9 again, and I was like, oh, I wonder what this film was like, because I saw it on the midnight release, and I was just watching clips of it, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I forgot how bad this movie was.
Yeah, it's not good. I did see that in like January with my brother and my dad. We like got out of it, and I was like, well, that wasn't very good, was it? My dad's like, just loves anything sci-fi. He was like, I don't know, it was all right. I was like, oh, okay.
I don't think your dad just is probably the same type of person that my parents are, being like the boomer generation, where it's just like they don't really know how to review a movie. They're just like,
must be nice.
Yeah, Star Wars, it was good.
Must be nice.
Yeah. Sorry, Ken, I don't mean to insult you.
Yeah, sorry, Ken. Sorry about that.
I'll say that we're like 46 minutes in. That's 40 minutes over where your dad would actually watch until, so we're fine. Yeah, go on, Max. Give us a list of what you've got at the moment, then.
All right.
See if we recognise any.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I've got the top, bottom 6 movies, and I'm gonna go from like the best of those worst movies to the very worst of those movies. I'm gonna just list them off. All right. 27 I've got here goes from 27 to 32. So 27 was the New Mutants. That was not a good movie.
You would say that was the best of the worst movies you've seen?
Oh yeah. Like
how
if
bad
I'm
were
going
these
on
other
like
movies?
if I'm going on like pure in like enjoyment factor, that's like one of the most enjoyable experiences I've had at the cinema. It was so fun.
It was
great. Yeah. Just to laugh at it. I was like, what the hell is happening? So yeah. Like the thing that pissed me off, I think you guys noticed when we were in the cinema and they were like referenced Logan. They were like, and this is in the Logan universe. I was like, motherfucker! Just so mad.
Literally, after the movie, you were like, they're so in continuity. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it really annoyed me. That movie is dog shit and terrible.
But
Yeah,
I would
the
highly
music's
recommend
bad.
it because it's hilarious.
Oh yeah,
I'd recommend
I'm gonna get the
watching it.
Blu-ray. I'm gonna get it on Blu-ray. Absolutely, I will.
I'd recommend watching it with a bunch of friends that also like bad movies because you'll have a good time watching it. If you're
Yeah.
on your own as an X-Men fan, steer clear of it because, yeah.
Absolutely, it's like not even the worst X-Men movie in my opinion.
No.
Would you say Dark Phoenix is?
Yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix. I went to see that last year as well, and that was god awful.
Yeah, not good.
I'm not really
Alright,
a big
28.
fan of those X-Men films, but even by those standards, New Mutants is
Gosh,
pretty
It
shit.
was fucking
Yeah.
bad.
I quite like the X-Men movies. All right, 28. A Whisker Away. Jesus Christ, this movie sucked, man. This is like a Netflix original anime movie, and it's like this girl who likes a boy, and she's like, I want to be close to the boy, but he can't know it's me, so I'm gonna turn myself into a cat. So she turns into a cat, and then to get close to this boy, and the boy like pets her as a cat. She's like, oh my god, he loves me, and then like she has to like reveal that she got turned into a cat by a magical fat cat, and then they have to like go on this adventure, and like I don't know, I don't get her
I
face
kind of
back.
feel like Max got drunk and accidentally went on Pornhub, what he thought was Netflix, and just started watching hentai.
This movie sucked. It sucked. Don't watch it. It's bad. Okay, that's it. I'm done with that. All right, 29. The Willoughbys. It sucked. Sucked, man. I don't even remember it, to be honest. It's like about this animated movie about these children who like go. Their parents go away and like I don't know, maybe they die. I don't even know, to be honest. And then they go on like an adventure up a mountain or something. I honestly can't remember it. Suck. Don't watch it. Okay, number 30. This is a stand-up show that I watched. Jack Whitehall. I'm Only Joking. Sucked. Again, it sucked. Okay, it's not a good stand-up show. I think I liked Jack Whitehall back when I was like 16. He came onto the comedy circuit and I was like, this is fresh. This is fun. I like it. And I was like, it's just the same thing. It's boring. I don't like his comedy anymore.
Did you ever watch the Bad Education movie?
No, I did not.
It was fucking awful.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. But I do like that show, to be honest. I didn't think the movie was going to
Yeah,
be
the
very
show's good, but
good. Okay, 31. This is the second worst movie I've seen this year. It's called The Sleepover. Oh, how about that? This movie that we just got together around mine and watched with Chris and Connor and Darcy. And Jesus Christ, was it bad? I don't even remember what happened. It's like a spy movie.
no, I don't really remember any of that film.
No, I just know that it was terrible. And the kids were annoying. Really annoying. Kid actors, terrible acting. Okay. Bad. Badly made movie overall, really. And then the worst movie I've seen this year, I mean, what else could it possibly go to? Number 32, Artemis Fowl. Just really terrible Disney movie that they just dumped on Disney+. Everyone saw it. Everyone hated it. There's nothing that I can say and nobody else has said. It's terrible. A terrible movie. And Colin Farrell was in this movie. What a terrible waste of his talents. The main actor, the kid, terrible acting.
Judi
But I don't
Dench is
like-
also in it.
Yeah, it's like an Irish fairy. Jesus Christ. Oh,
Comes
boy.
in at one point, just says top of the morning to you. It's like this overly dramatic
Yeah.
scene where it's like meant to be this great like one-liner and it's so bad.
Yep, it was not good at all. I cannot recommend it to anyone. Ever. Throw it in the bin. This is what Disney Plus is going to be now, just like a dumping ground for all their crap movies that nobody wants to see. Get out of here. Alright, that's
They've got that new Pixar film coming out on Friday, Soul,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
apparently really good.
Yeah, we'll see. I won't watch it on Christmas Day. I'll probably give it a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I won't watch it on the day, but I'll watch it at some point.
Yeah. Alright, that's me done for my bottom movies. The worst of the worst. We got...
Pretty much all the films I didn't like you listed.
Yeah.
I guess you got the Impractical Jokers movie. That was really bad.
That's it. Oh,
I liked the show a lot, but the film was painful. Wasn't really a big fan of that new SpongeBob movie.
Oh, yeah.
It was just really loud and obnoxious. Also,
They
wasn't
just
really
need to,
into. What are you
Sorry,
gonna
they just
say?
need to like upload like the old SpongeBob episodes to Netflix. Let's just do that. That'd be alright.
Yeah. Wasn't massively into The Invisible Man, which is a controversial pick
Mhm.
because everyone seemed to really like it. I just thought
Yeah.
it was like trying to be two different films at once. Like I thought the stuff about abuse and stuff was really interesting, but then it gets just overly ridiculous and cheesy, and that's when it just lost me.
Did The
Yeah.
Invisible Man come out this year then?
It did.
Yeah.
I thought that was last year. Oh, it was straight to
No.
like, Netflix or something, wasn't it?
I think it got a limited
No, it went out in the
cinema
cinema.
release. Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember that.
It was out for
Yeah.
Remember
it was out for
watching
like it was out for almost a month before we went into lockdown. And then they just released it
Yeah.
on
Oh,
streaming
okay.
services after.
Yeah, I didn't really
Um,
dig that, to be honest. Lee Wanell, wasn't it, who directed that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked his previous movie, Upgrade. But this,
Yeah,
I
that
wouldn't
was
say that
fun.
it's like a terrible movie, but it wasn't really that good. I liked some of the effects, I guess some of the commentary on like abuse, but it didn't really gel with me.
No. I also really didn't like that new Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn film. That was pretty shit. It's one of the better DC movies, but I mean, that doesn't say a lot.
You know,
'cause
it's-
they're pretty bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, a studio's making bad movies when you're like, yeah, the movie was bad, but it's one of the better DC movies.
By DC
Yeah.
standards, it was brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, I think I'd give it like a 5 out of 10. Like, it's pretty middle of the road.
Oh, right.
But that's like probably the highest rating I'd give any of the like official DC movies, like not including Joker.
Yeah.
yeah, not many of them are good.
You got anything else?
So we can. No, that's everything I watched this year that I didn't really like.
All right.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah. Some days I just like went out of my way to have terrible experiences. I was like, this movie looks terrible. Let's watch it. No, I don't know
you
what
knew
I was
he was going to be
expecting.
making a
Yeah,
list
that's
at the
what-
end of the year.
Yeah. Just wanted to boost the numbers. Hour and a half at time.
That's the only
Just
reason I
going.
watched Artemis Fowl.
Yeah. Wasn't good. Shame. It's not even like that's like the worst movie of the year for me, and that was like done by Disney. It wasn't like even like just some crap that was dumped on like Netflix that would have just been like, whatever. I'll just watch this. No, this was like genuinely awful. It looked like they went out of their way to make it terrible, and they were in production for like years and years. Such
Yeah, like, it's been
crazy.
in production for 15 years.
Jesus Christ.
It was all filmed. The whole film, I think, was filmed 2 or 3 years ago, and it's just been sat on the shelf, just like New Mutants.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Just don't release them. They just seem to be releasing bad movies that were filmed years ago.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say don't release them. I would say just dump them on like some streaming service and have it be done with it. At least then you can watch it.
I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad it didn't get like a full theatrical release.
Waste
Yeah.
of money that would have been.
Yeah.
Would have been, yeah.
Do you got any other bad films, Connor?
Mate, no. I haven't really watched many films this year, new ones. Nor the ones that I have watched you guys have mentioned. So,
Nice.
we did see some utter shit this year.
Oh, we did. Indeed,
I
we
I will
did.
say New Mutants is probably the worst film that I saw. Not only this year, but this decade. Well,
Oof.
it's a neck and neck tie with that and Midsummer. I don't really know what one to go with.
You thought they were worse than Paranormal Ascendancy?
I liked 3 AM. I liked my favourite character was the goth girl who just like snarls at people.
Yeah. We mentioned that movie a lot on this podcast. And that's because it's really good, obviously.
Did we ever review that movie on here? Was that one of the early ones?
That was one of the early ones, I think.
No, that was
Yeah.
it was before.
Oh, so
But
we
I
never actually
reviewed it
spoke
on my
oh, God.
channel.
You did, didn't you? Yeah, on your YouTube channel. What's
you
next
can
then,
watch
boys?
that video on there.
Now I think
talk
we'll
about
go over
good
to
films.
the top movies of the year, the best of the best, the cream of the crop. Chris, you want to kick it off with should we do top fives? We'll do top fives.
Yeah, sure. So me and Max always like have a big debate over what like classes as like a 2020 film, because I'm always just like, if it came out in the UK in 2020, I class as a 2020 film. So because of that, my entire top 5 of films have got 2019 releases in a lot of places, but 2020 releases here.
Yeah.
Actually, no, there's one that's a 2020 release.
Nice.
Do 5 to 1.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Number 5, I've got I'm Thinking of Ending Things, the new Charlie Kaufman film. Charlie Kaufman's my favourite screenwriter. I've loved all the films he's directed so far as well. This film was pretty great. Very creative, interesting, surreal.
Yeah, it was a crazy movie. It's not for everyone, I don't think. I think, yeah, I've seen it twice now. But I don't think everybody would like it. Like, if I recommended this to my parents, or like really anyone that I knew, they'd be like, oh, no thanks. This ain't for me.
No, it's a very strange film.
It is. But if you're into strange movies, I'd recommend it. Along with like pretty much everything Charlie Kaufman's done, to be honest. All right.
Yeah, he does a lot of surreal stuff. I'm reading his book at the moment, and that's just as weird.
Yeah, I bet. Okay. I'm gonna go my top
speaking
5.
of strange films.
Oh, yeah.
At number 4, I've got The Lighthouse, directed by Robert Eggers.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, which is like one of the weirdest horror films I've seen in the last few years.
Yeah.
Just 2 guys on an island together, wanking over, dreaming of mermaids, drinking motor oil.
Does it take place in a lighthouse?
Sure does. Yeah.
Some of it does.
Yeah, some of it does.
Yeah.
So it takes place around a lighthouse.
Number 3, I've actually got a film that I know all 3 of us have watched. It's Uncut Gems, directed by the Safdie brothers.
Oh, that was a very good film. That was very good.
Great. Adam Sandler resurgence.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of his better movies.
Indeed, one of his best.
Alongside Punch Drunk Love is probably my favourite performance from him.
Yeah.
It's probably the most stressful film watching experience I've ever had. Watching it in the cinema, I was like incredibly stressed out the whole film. I remember leaving the screening, and there was like an old woman who was like shaking, and someone asked if like she'd been in the film, and she was like, I think so.
What?
Like
it
ruined the film just shook her up so much, she was just in like a weird daze.
Yeah. She didn't even know she'd seen the movie.
Soul.
Yeah. Uncut Gems
great
was
film.
A pretty great movie. Yeah. I must say I do like the Safdie brothers. I'm excited to see where they go next. I like their previous movie a bit more, Good Time, but Uncut Gems was still
Good Time's great.
Yeah.
They've also got a film called Heaven Knows What, which is like a film about a heroin addict just living on the streets, and that's really great as well.
Nice.
Number 2, we got Waves, directed by Trey Edward Schultz. Really beautiful film.
Gorgeous movie.
Probably the most emotionally impacted I've been by a film this whole year. It destroyed me.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I was like sobbing when I saw that movie.
Yeah. Incredible soundtrack as well. Mostly made up of like Kanye West and Frank Ocean and stuff like that.
Yeah, really good movie.
And my favourite film is Parasite, directed by Bong Joon-ho. It's kind of like my introduction to Korean cinema, because I'd never watched a Korean movie before that, and I fell in love with it, and it instantly went into, I'd say, my favourite films of all time. Really great, hilarious movie.
It is a very good movie. I got the Steelbook Blu-ray now, and as I said, that was the last movie I saw before we went into lockdown numero uno. The theatre was packed. People were loving it, so I'm really happy to see so many people interacted with that, and also it won Best Picture at the Oscars as well. Really great.
People.
I saw
people got there was split opinions on that winning an Oscar, wasn't it?
Really?
Well, yeah.
Because there was like people that were like, people were saying the Joker should have won.
Yeah, which the funny part was, like, I've not seen Parasite, but I like people were saying about the Joker was more deserving of an Oscar because it touched upon like the issues with certain classes in the world, like being like a lower class poor person and like that sort of stuff. But Parasite was the exact same. Also spoke about them topics. Just no one fucking watched it. Well,
Parasite
the people that
speaks about it a lot better than Joker did.
Yeah. It just goes to show the ignorance of some people nowadays. Like they were so quick to jump on that movie, saying it wasn't deserving of it, and then when they found out that it touched upon the same topics, it was just like, all right, shut up now, then.
When I come out, can you introduce me as the loser?
We can introduce you as the loser if you'd like, Max.
No, I'm alright. MC Macca is good with me.
On this episode of the Sunday Marathon podcast, you're joined by Chris, Connor, and the loser.
So, I have my top 5 here. First of all, I do have an honourable mention in Christopher Nolan's new movie. That was like the only movie that came out this year that was actually like really trying to get like a big blockbuster release. Didn't really do it, unfortunately. Didn't make its money back, but I enjoyed the movie anyway. Not one of Nolan's strongest movies, but I had a good time. The sound was horrendous, but that's Nolan for you, I guess. Shame. I'm excited to get the Blu-ray at some point, so I can watch it in my own home with subtitles.
Tenet was okay.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot when I saw it, but like the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, you know what, that wasn't actually that great.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are sort of like that. Sick of Nolan shit now. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
You goddamn idiot, you fool. Trying to release a movie when nobody can see it. Trying to force people into the cinema when they could die. You dummy. God damn it. So anyway, on to my
That's
actual
the reason
top
why
5.
Warner Brothers are now putting all their films onto streaming the same day as they go in the cinema.
Yeah, that's only for a year though, isn't it? Just to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Trial year for it,
Yeah.
but this is either going to be the death of cinema or the realization that streaming services are probably not the best place to release movies.
Hopefully
Maybe.
that's the way it goes, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be really successful.
We'll have to wait and see, really.
I would just like a healthy middle ground, you know, where like you get these releases on streaming services, but also, you know, cinemas don't plummet to their doom. That'd be nice.
Max, that's why they're releasing it in both movies, cinemas and streaming services.
Yeah. A lot of jobs lost if cinemas fail, man.
Well, yeah, you
Lot of
think about
jobs.
it. For us, it's not that bad because we pay £5 a cinema ticket. So if you were to take a family of like 4, it's only like 20 quid. But then you've got like all the snacks and stuff to pay for. Where at home. It's just more convenient. And I think if this was going to take the edge over cinema, it's going to be down to just the convenience and how much cheaper it's going to actually be. Not having to lug around your kids, get in the car, drive, wait in traffic, buy expensively overpriced cinema snacks, where you just do it in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of the general population are like... I'm included in this. I wouldn't really care if it came out in the cinema, nor whether it came out on streaming services. If Black Widow came out on both, I'd probably more opt to see it online than I would in the cinema.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a movie I'd like to see in the cinema, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, my top 5. Okay, so my number 5 is a movie that's part of a mini-series, but it's like it's a movie in its own right, I think. And this is the only episode I've seen of this mini-series, so I'm just going to include it anyway. Mangrove, directed by Steve McQueen for his Small Axe series. I watched that. It's on BBC iPlayer. What a great movie that was. I was talking to Chris after I watched it. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, basically all 5 of the things are just films. The last couple are only about an hour long, so you can't really completely class them as films, but I think all of them could stand on their own as like a proper film if it was released in that way.
Yeah. But this was 2 hours long. Just watched it on my sofa on BBC iPlayer. And I really liked it. It's about this... it's like a trial that goes ahead. Some black folk trying to get some rights. Get their rights back, you know. They've come over from overseas. Police are treating them like shit. Just being treated like shit. And the Mangrove is this restaurant that they go to for solace, but unfortunately every other day they're getting police in, knocking them to the ground and beating them up. So half of the movie is what takes place in this trial. And I said to Chris, after I watched it, I was like, this made the Trial of the Chicago 7, which came out on Netflix this year, which was basically just about a trial. Go figure, you know. I said that made Trial of the Chicago 7 look worse. Like, it was just that movie, but so much better. Really enjoyed it.
I agree.
Steve McQueen.
I did enjoy the Trial of the Chicago 7, but Mangrove is basically the same film, but done a lot better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed all the Small Axe films. My favourite one's probably the second one, Lovers Rock.
Nice. Can't wait to get around to all of those. Eventually, I will. But did not get to finish them all, unfortunately. Number 4. Another Netflix... I say another. The first Netflix movie on this list here. The Devil All the Time, directed by Antonio Campos. About...
I've been meaning to watch that. Seems pretty good.
Yeah, I recommended it to you. It is. It's very good. I think it's quite a divisive movie. I didn't really like it the first time I watched it, and then I watched it again like a month later. Just really enjoyed it. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't understand what I was thinking. It's really good. About like, I think the first time I was just sort of expecting like a sort of play-by-play, sort of a different kind of structure, like a sort of basic structure that you'd see in a film. This isn't sort of where the movie takes you though. It doesn't really have a story per se, but it's just about like these people getting into these corrupt and dangerous situations, and about the violence that surrounds it. Really liked it. Really great acting from a lot of interesting actors. Tom Holland being a good standout. Obviously, we see him in movies like Spider-Man. You think, well, this guy's Spider-Man, but he's like completely changed into this other character for this movie. Really brilliant acting on his part. God, who was the other guy? Bill Skarsgård. He was great. Robert Pattinson, brilliant. He really played this disgusting, horrible guy. He's quite acting against type, but I really, really enjoyed him. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Very upsetting movie, I would say. Very dark, but very enjoyable if you like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I had a good time in this film. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. A lot of people aren't really liking it though. And on the one hand, I get it. On the other hand, I've been converted. Number
Nice.
3. A documentary I watched on Netflix about David Attenborough's A Life on Our Planet. I've watched a hell of a lot of David Attenborough documentaries in my time. A lot of his series, he just pumps them out, man. He's like 100 years old. He just keeps going. I admire him so much. He's so intelligent, so just cares so much about the planet. I just love seeing him talk about all the different animals and all the environments. Yeah, great. All his documentaries have like stunning cinematography as well. I'm like amazed at how they get some of these shots of animals and the wildlife. And this one, A Life on Our Planet, probably my favorite of his so far. It's just like this look at what we're doing to the earth. And so all his documentaries sort of have this sort of focus on what we're doing to the earth, but this was like truly harrowing to see. And it's like it shows like how he started being like this explorer, being interested in all these animals, going around the world. So you get to see all the old footage of him, and then they do like sort of clips into the future, seeing where we're going to be in 20 years, 50 years, 100 years. Desolate we leave the world. Jesus Christ, it is terrifying to watch. But
Yeah. I've got a book that I bought early this year that I still need to read. It's probably going to be one of my next few reads. It's called The Uninhabitable World. The book I saw recommended on a Joe Rogan podcast, and it's basically, I can't remember the author's name of it, but he's the book is just centered around the impact and the devastation that can and probably will be caused to the Earth by the temperature rising by something as small as like 2 degrees, and it's just how that can have an effect on like the ecosystem, environments, and us as a civilization over the next like 50 years. And from what I remember from the podcast that he did with Joe Rogan, it's quite shocking about what could happen just by the smallest changes, and it's the direction that we're going in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's terrifying to think about, really. Those are like some of the best, not the best art, can make you think about these kinds of things. I think David Attenborough, probably my favourite documentarian.
You know what I say though?
Oh?
I'll be dead, so it's not my problem.
That's the, that's the sort of general consensus, isn't it?
I'm going to make sure that I have like loads of grandkids when I'm older, so I'm like, you're all fucked.
Why did you do this to us?
On my deathbed, I'll just lol and then conk out.
Peace out.
Enjoy the tsunamis, boys.
Enjoy the devastation. Number 2, I got a movie I saw in the cinema, and I saw this on my own. Nobody else was in the cinema, in the theatre. I just had this whole theatre to myself. It was amazing. And I saw this quite recently. It's called The Climb. Great movie. Not a lot of people saw it though. Just about these 2 guys who like cycling, I guess. It's about their friendship more than anything. Just like how like the arguments that they have. It's a very funny movie. Also very uplifting, I would say. I was really sort of stunned by the technical qualities of it. Every scene is just one take, and I just love that. It's a much better use of the one take aspect.
In 1917,
yeah, than 90, which I also saw earlier this year. But I didn't really like that much.
Nah, that was a terrible movie.
Yeah, but The Climb, really brilliant, very funny, very nice to look at. Also, one part takes place on Christmas. Christmas movie?
Ooh, Christmas style, nice.
Indeed. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say on it, to be honest. It's just oh my god, Mark!
I'm so sorry.
Mark died. Here he is. So anyway, Mark, I was saying, Jesus Christ, what was I saying?
I don't know.
I don't even know. Yeah, it was a good movie. Check it out. I don't even know when it's coming out, to be honest. I think like February or something.
Yeah, February. Yeah. They haven't announced if it's coming out on DVD yet, though. They've announced it's coming on to, like, you can buy it on, like, Amazon Prime, like, streaming and stuff, but...
Yeah. That's annoying.
But
that's an entirely different conversation.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not a digital-only release.
Yeah.
Because I do want to watch it.
Yeah. Really good. Nobody came to see The Climb, in my theatre at least. I don't think people put too much faith in a movie that they know nothing about. This is not connected to any superhero universe or anything that's pre-established. Just a standalone good movie that I think people would like if they gave it a chance. Something
very nice, very nice.
It's not
I
extravagant.
didn't see any adverts or anything for it. I saw no advertising for it. I only knew it was coming out because you said you were going to see it.
Yeah. Luckily, they showed it at our local, but yeah, nobody really paid attention to it, which is a shame because it's a bloody brilliant movie. It was. All right, number 1. Chris has mentioned this. I'm thinking of ending things. Charlie Kaufman's movie. Jesus Christ! Oh my God, it was amazing. I watched this twice. It is my favorite Charlie Kaufman movie, and now it's one of my favorite movies ever. I don't know what to say other than what we said already. I would just probably say that, yeah, it's not particularly accessible, but if you like that kind of movie, I'd say give it a go. I cried like the second time I watched it at the end, but it just emotionally affected me so much. Just sort of broke down. And I couldn't even tell you why, to be honest. It's just one of those things that you vibe with it. You vibe with it or you don't, and I definitely did. It was quite creepy as well in tone. It was very very strange and eerie a lot of the time. But great performances from Jessie Buckley, who I know from, well, at least from her role in a BBC show called Taboo with Tom Hardy. That was a really good show. But she put on a brilliant performance in this, and I'm interested to see what she does next. She's a great actor. Jesse Plemons, brilliant. Yeah, great performance from him. And also, people probably would know more, Toni Collette, who was in movies like Knives Out, Hereditary. Brilliant performance as always.
Krampus.
And, yeah, Krampus, of course. And David Thewlis, who is a great actor. I don't think a lot of people know his name though, which is a shame because he's a great actor in movies like the Harry Potter movies. He plays, Professor R.J. Lupin. He's in that. Oh my God. Yeah, in a lot of great movies. Anomalisa, Naked. Yeah, just like a powerhouse of acting, I thought the movie was. And it really chilled me to my core. Yeah, brilliant movie. That's my top one for 2020.
Very good choices, boys.
Indeed.
So we also talking about some TV shows as well.
Yeah.
I think Max has watched the most TV out of all of us. Like Connor was saying, he's only watched The Boys, and I've like probably watched about 4 or 5 TV shows this year.
Yeah. You want to go through yours?
Yeah. In terms of older shows that I've been watching a lot of The Simpsons this year.
Yeah.
Because it's on Disney Plus, of course. I'm now on to season 15. I started it today.
Oh, really? I'm on like season 17. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
also watched the first season of Gravity Falls on Disney Plus. Really enjoyed that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
nice,
pretty creative cartoon. In terms of stuff came out this year, new season of Better Call Saul was really great. Really loving Better Call Saul. I think it's on par with Breaking Bad, but a lot of Breaking Bad fans haven't been watching it, so think of it as a lesser show, which is a shame.
I didn't even
'cause I
realise
think
that
it's really
show
great.
was still going.
Yeah, it's on its... Well, it just had its 5th season. I think next year's the last season. Yeah, it's really good.
Nice.
Season 2 of The Boys, which we did an episode about.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that.
Did indeed.
Was good. Very good season.
Yeah. Last season of BoJack Horseman came out this year as well, which I keep forgetting came out this year because it like feels so long ago now because it came out in like the first week of January.
Yeah.
That's been a very long year.
That was a great season. A great end to the show, I would say. Very
Yeah.
It just sort of like ends. It's like, yeah, I love the messages that it puts forth. It's like, yeah, this is the end, but it's not like the end, you know? It doesn't really like have that huge climax that most shows would at the end, but I really like that sort of what the show does very well, in my opinion.
Yeah, at the end of it, very little is actually like tied up or anything like most TV shows would do, but I feel like that was kind of the point, and it works really well. The last few episodes are incredibly emotionally powerful, as does a lot of the show.
Yeah, I love that that episode where he's like in purgatory or something, and
Yeah.
like all the like characters from his past or whatever are just talking to him. That's really great.
Yeah, all these people in his life who have died.
Yeah. There was also an episode I liked in that where he's just, the whole thing is just him at a funeral and he's just talking about like his mother, his dead mother. That was great.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
And the end of
Yeah.
that episode was hilarious as well. I loved that. Yeah.
Recently we had The Queen's Gambit, the miniseries on Netflix about Anya Taylor-Joy playing chess and playing with guys' hearts. It was pretty great.
Phenomenal show. That was really great miniseries. That came just when we needed it, really, right at the end of the year. Everyone was so down in the dumps.
Yeah. And by far my favourite bit of TV this whole year was Mandalorian Season 2. I really enjoyed Season 1, but Season 2 I absolutely loved. I think it's the best Star Wars related thing that has come out since The Empire Strikes Back. It's just incredible stuff. Really great fan service throughout. I love the fact that they bring back a lot of like creatures and stuff in the original trilogy that barely get seen. Bring back some pretty huge characters as well. And they embrace the lore and stuff of the universe. It's very clear that the creators know a lot about Star Wars and want to make like the definitive Star Wars show. And it's
I think they have.
really good.
I think they have with this, for sure. Right after like the Rise of Skywalker as well. It's like, really? Make this right after Rise of Skywalker, the second season. It's, yeah, amazing. Amazing show.
Yeah.
Really reaffirms my faith in Star Wars. It's like, I don't even think I want to watch anything other than this that's related to Star. I don't even want to watch the other movies ever again. I just want to watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean, it's like following up like this really bad duo of films in Solo and Episode 9, both of which really suck.
Yeah. I didn't see Solo, but honestly, I can't even be bothered.
I saw a midnight screening, I think with Connor.
No, not with me. I haven't seen Solo yet.
Okay.
All right. I think as I've seen the most TV this year, I want to do like a brief thing about the show that I watched that everybody's already watched. I just binged through it in the latter month of the year. Game of Thrones. Jesus Christ.
What a horrible way to end such a very good TV series.
Yeah, the last season was not that good. That being said, I enjoyed this show immensely. It's now my favourite show ever. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's everything I want in a show. It's just brilliant high fantasy stuff about well, not really high fantasy, more it's got the fantasy element, but it's quite grounded. I just love the long form storytelling that it's able to go through. I love the characters. I love the music, amazing, by Ramin Djawadi. Always great. The cinematography, always great. Just, yeah, I loved pretty much everything about it.
It's one of those series that it's very expert in its field of building a world and feeling very immersed in it. I think some of the character arcs for certain people over the series was some of the best I've seen in TV.
Yeah.
Like we said though, this is a very sad way of ending the show, and like Chris has pointed out before, it's not necessarily the direction that they took in the last season. It's just how rushed they got there.
Yeah.
Because without spoiling anything, it was a very like a 180, the ending of the show, which, as has been pointed out many times before, could have been stretched into an extra season or two, but was just rushed down into 6 episodes. And I think 4 of those 6 episodes were very story-based, plot-driven, and even with that being said, like 6 hours of plot-driven story, it just was not a very good way of ending that show. But beforehand was amazing. Like, it took me like... And every time I speak to people about watching Game of Thrones, it's always the same thing. It's like, you either watch the first few episodes over and over again, or you have to sit through the first season to actually really get into the show. And I was kind of the same. I watched the first season twice in its entirety, and I tried watching the show 4 times before actually getting into it.
Yeah. I think I tried to watch it a few years ago. I got about halfway through the first episode, turned it off. I was just like, I can't bother with this.
Yeah,
but I'm really glad I went back to it. Yeah. I love pretty much all the acting. Really brilliant performances. From Maisie Williams was probably one of my favourite characters. I thought she was
I loved her.
pretty freaking fantastic. God, I had another one. Kit Harington was great as well. I loved him as Jon Snow. And Peter Dinklage, that was the one. Yeah, phenomenal performance from him. I love that guy.
Yeah, he did very good. But the thing is, though, like, the last season, I think, ruined Sophie Turner and Kit Harington's characters for me, just because their acting... not even their acting, it's just the characters. They were just written so poorly that even though I guess the actors tried the best with what they had, it just really dampened some really good characters for me. I've never really liked Sophie Turner's character in this show, in all fairness. And seeing her in other films, I wouldn't really say she's a very strong actress when you take a look at the cast itself.
No.
But they all did give very good performances, but I think, yeah.
And like you were saying, it's also down to like the expansive world building as well. I just love all that stuff. It's like Lord of the Rings in a way, but like more scaled back in terms of like its fantasy elements. And obviously you've got the longer form story format with it being a show. You're able to delve into characters a bit more, give a bit more lore to the world as well. Yeah, brilliant stuff.
I'm very excited for, I think they've got 2 spin-off series coming out. One to do with the Targaryens history, and then
Oh, really?
No, that is it, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, they've got,
Wow.
I can't remember the exact name of it, but I'm pretty sure they've got a spin-off coming out about the Targaryen War, that's referenced in a lot of the show, and I'm pretty sure there's another spin-off coming out, which is the backstory of the actual world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know they've got 1 spin-off series coming out, which I'm very excited to watch.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. You could definitely tell that the last season was very rushed. I think the creators wanted to do like their Star Wars show or like their movies, and they just fucked it off.
Well, I'll be
Didn't really-
completely honest with you. I think the both writers, Dan and Dan, as soon as it got to the point where they ran out of book material and they had to think of stuff on their own, I just think they're not very good writers when it comes to it, because they didn't really do a very good job when it came to them being independent. And I think it's George R. Martin that wrote the books?
Yeah.
Has also criticised where they went with the series. And I'm pretty sure he has said that his book ending is not following what they have done in the series. So
Yeah.
for all of you that read the books and are book fans, you're going to be pleasantly surprised with what you get finished with.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure what they did is George R. Martin gave him his outlines of what he planned on doing, and they followed a lot of it, but with the last season I think they kind of just went off and did their own thing.
And it shows.
Has George R.R. Martin finished the books yet? I don't think he's finished
No.
all of the books.
Yeah,
No.
I don't even think he's started the new books.
He's gonna die before he finishes them.
He's been writing one of them for almost a decade now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
I'm pretty sure as a joke at one point he has said he's probably never going to finish them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's got 2 books left to do or something, and he's in his 80s.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That might be another disappointment. I actually got that my dad got me the whole book series for my birthday, so I'm very excited to delve into those.
Beats the Milky Way milkshake, doesn't it?
It sure does. Yeah. Oh, I want to mention one moment, which was one of my favourite moments of the show, and it made me feel pretty horrific for a whole week afterwards. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. The Red Wedding. It was
yeah.
horrific. That was
A classic.
I was
Well, that's just the whole. That's just George R. Martin in general, isn't it? He just
yeah.
does. He just
A
does
lot
what you
of-
don't
yeah.
expect.
A lot of really shocking moments in that show, but that was one of my
think
favourites.
You think the show has finally got a. Well, you think the show is going in one direction, and they've set the players up to be where they are, and you think that it's gonna plan out the way that you think, and then boom, all of a sudden you're left with the show going in a different direction, and you're like, shit me, this is good.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I've talked enough about Game of Thrones.
Can't
I'll go
believe
on to
Barney shows up though.
That dinosaur, God, man, that was crazy, man. I was like, what's that flash of purple? Anyway, top 5 TV shows that came out this year. We've already mentioned this one, my top number 5, BoJack Horseman season 6. Really great season of television. Really great animated show. Very sad, I would say. It takes a while to get off the ground from the beginning, but eventually I just got really hooked on it. I sort of binged through it, and then when the last season came out, I watched through that. Really fantastic. I want to make an honourable mention for a show that I'm watching currently that is yet to finish, and I also have yet to finish. His Dark Materials season 2. I just binged through season 1, and I'm on season 2 now. It's quite a bit better than season 1, I would say, or at least it prompted me to buy the book. The first book anyway, by Philip Pullman. But I'm really enjoying that so far, season 2. Excited to see where that goes. Also, Daphne Keane is in that, who I really love from Logan. So yeah, great show.
Nice.
Number 4 is a miniseries by Alex Garland, who directed movies such as Ex Machina and Annihilation. And that show is Devs. That was a great show. A really great, it was on BBC. Really strange, very existential, kind of creepy in a way, about sort of parallel universes and sort of how we perceive the world. And yeah, I watched it at the beginning of the year, so I'm not super attuned to everything about it right now, but it had a very very creepy vibe. But I think Alex Garland does that really well, especially with movies like Annihilation. Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I've enjoyed both films he's directed and some of the ones he's written as well.
Yeah, it's got one plot line that I just was well, that didn't even go anywhere. But other than that, it was pretty fantastic. Number 3,
Nice.
We've already mentioned this. The Queen's Gambit. Who knew that a show about just playing chess would be so goddamn brilliant? Yeah. Really great show, great acting from Anya Taylor-Joy. Great cinematography as well. I thought the set design was brilliant. And it just looked really amazing. Especially when they like focus on like the chess games, you're like, oh, we're just playing chess, I guess, whatever. But they make it really really interesting and really entertaining. So yeah, that's one of the best shows to come out of the year, I think. Number 2 is Ricky Gervais's show on Netflix, season 2 of Afterlife. I really liked the first season of this, and the second season was even better. Really funny, a lot of Ricky Gervaisish humour. So sort of like self-deprecating, sort of kind of offensive, but really hilarious. And I'm also very sad. I cried a whole lot in this season. Jesus Christ, it was sad.
So did I. This Ricky Gervais just fucking captures the emotion of this show and the feelings that you'll probably feel of grieving.
Yeah.
Very well.
About like the loss of a loved one. He's going through grief. I really loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. Afterlife is definitely one of my favourite shows of the year.
Mm-hmm. And number 1, same as Chris's, it's The Mandalorian season 2. Holy hell. They really pulled that out of the bag. You know, the first season was good. It was very good. But this season was like pretty much perfect, to be honest. It's amazing.
Yeah. I watched some spoilers of the last episode, and I'm gonna watch it both seasons, and I'm really excited to see where they'll take it in a third season.
Yeah. No spoilers here, of course, but that last episode was probably the best episode of the show so far. And this is probably my favourite Star Wars thing ever. I hope they keep it up, at least for a couple of more seasons. I really would hate to see it go stale, but
it's got Baby Yoda in it, so
yeah,
Baby Yoda show.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but the part where I'm towards the end, I think you guys know what I'm referring to. I was watching that clip on YouTube, and just the music that was played alongside it was just fucking incredible. Really set up a good atmosphere for what was happening.
Yeah. A really epic moment that was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Barney kicks down the door. Stuff fucking bitches up.
He eats Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda cute though.
Yeah. A very, very good way of finishing off 2020 with for Star Wars fans especially.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Actually gives them something to appreciate.
Yeah. Really great acting. Really great cinematography. I thought it looked gorgeous. The music by Ludwig Göransson. Brilliant music, brilliant score. I really love the Western vibe to it. Yeah. Just an all-round great show. Anyone who loves Star Wars is definitely going to love this. Absolutely.
Yeah, the music's like unlike anything I've ever heard in like a Star Wars related stuff. Because normally it's just like that John Williams score and like orchestral stuff, but the music in this is like there's like actual like heavily distorted like rock guitars at points. There's like almost like dubstep sounding electronic stuff, but it all fits really well. Yeah,
I think that's sort of Ludwig Göransson's style in a way. He did like the score for Tenet. He did the score for Black Panther, I think. And yeah, just really, really great.
Also produced the first 3 Childish Gambino albums. Did all the music for Community as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. That's good music too. Yeah, just one of the greats working today. I really like him.
Yeah. So, Connor, you watched a couple of shows.
Mate, all the shows that I've watched, the shows that you guys have watched, so we've spoken about them. The only difference is I've been binge watching Friends over the last couple months.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so I'm up to season 8 of that at the moment. So I've just got a couple more seasons to get through, and yeah. But other than that, like you said, The Boys, Afterlife. I haven't watched Mandalorian yet, but I've watched various clips on YouTube, so I know what the gist of the show is about. And that's really about it.
Nice. Did I go through like some of my worst shows? I think I did.
No.
No.
No. All right, I'll just read him off. I watched 15 seasons of shows this year. Number 13 was The Midnight
Fuck
Gospel.
me, you can tell Max is only a part-time worker, can't you?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 13 is The Midnight Gospel. It's like this animated show on Netflix, just like about this like little alien dude going around different universes, going around different worlds, just like doing a podcast and like interviewing people that he finds on these different planets. It's fucking weird, man. It's really strange.
I watched 2 episodes and I just wasn't into it. Like, I respected what they were going for. Like, it's an interesting idea because it's literally just the creator literally just took his podcast where he interviews loads of random different people like across the world, and he just animated it and like tried to create a story around it. And, like, it's an interesting idea. Like, it's very creative, but I don't think it's very good.
I do like that part about it. But a lot of the time, because I didn't realise that it was like an actual podcast that he just animated around. So a lot of the things that these people are talking about, it's very technical stuff. So I'm just like, well, is this even like real? Am I just listening to these people talk about the stuff that's not even real? Because they've just gone to this planet full of like fart monsters, and they're just talking about weird technical jargon that I have no idea about. So yeah, some of it was quite interesting and insightful, moderately, I guess, but a lot of it, most of it also was not.
I feel like you could probably get a better experience just listening to the podcast.
Yeah, probably. Number 14 was a mini-series on Netflix that literally everyone watched. Tiger King. Oh my god. This docu-series. Jesus Christ, was it bad. I hated it so much, man. It took me so long to get through. It's not like the worst thing in the world. I just hate like the presentation and like the fact that it's I don't really gel with like documentaries that have the sort of vibe of like Southern American type of
the old rednecks.
That type of the old redneck vibe. I don't really gel with it. I thought everyone in this show was like, everyone they interviewed was like an awful person. So I just didn't, and they were all really ugly. That's one of like the main criticisms I had. I was like, these people are so ugly. I don't want to watch any of them. Yeah, didn't like it.
Max, I don't want to speed you up, but can we push through these next 13? Because I still need to eat before I leave for work.
I'm only going to mention one more show, the worst show that I watched this year, the worst season of television, Doctor Who, season 12. Jesus Christ, was it bad. You know, I like Doctor Who as a show. It's a good show, but it's fallen off recently as soon as Jodie Whittaker came on. I'm not saying
that's
her
fucking
fault.
Sexist.
I'm not saying that it's her fault. It's not her fault. She's a really good actor. I really like her. And she could be a good doctor.
Convenient that your worst season so far has been with a female lead.
Yeah, sorry about that, but it's the truth. Okay,
it's been getting worse and worse for years, to be fair.
Yeah, I think the last good series of Doctor Who was David Tennant era of Doctor Who, the one that I actually watched.
I'd agree.
But with this
I
one,
didn't really like anything else.
Yeah, I mean, with this one, they've got like a new showrunner as well, and I think he's part of the reason. Chris Chibnall is part of the reason this show has fallen off so dramatically. Like towards the end of Peter Capaldi's run, it was not like the worst thing in the world. It was all right, but it wasn't like the best. And now with this, it's just like taking a nosedive. And I'm amazed to say that season 12 is as bad as it is. It was deplorable. I couldn't name you like any episode like inside of it. It was just terrible. At least in like season 11, you had like maybe one episode that was all right. And this was, I can't even name you a single episode in it. I can't remember what happened. It was terrible. It was so bad. Do not watch it. I don't even know if I'm going to continue watching Doctor Who, to be honest. So disappointed.
Just watch The Chase instead. That's got Bradley Walsh in it.
Wait, is Bradley Walsh in Doctor Who?
Yeah, he's one of the companions now.
Oh, fuck off. My God.
And he's like the best part about it.
Oh, you need what Fanny something. Just say that to him and he'll just lose it and start laughing.
Yep.
Right.
Bad season.
Should we talk about what our recommendations are going to be for the next episode? I've changed mine from the Truman Show. I've thought of a good movie that I don't think any of you have watched before.
Cool.
Nice.
So
do Chris's
go for
recommendation?
Start with me then.
Let's go.
So we haven't got a theme or anything for next week, unlike the last one where it was Christmas. I am going to pick a film that I really love. It's one of my favourites, and I've been meaning to rewatch it for a while because I've been into a lot of the old Italian gangster movies recently, like The Godfather and stuff. So I'm going to pick Goodfellas, directed by Martin Scorsese.
Nice. I've seen this one time. I really enjoyed it though. Really great.
I haven't seen it before,
really
so this should be an
entertaining
interesting
film.
watch.
It's a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, it should be. My recommendation is a movie that I adore. I think it might prove to be a little divisive though, but it's a movie from 2019 directed by Gavin Hood called Official Secrets, and I recommend this movie mainly because a couple of episodes ago, or it might have even... It was the one where we discussed Everest, and Connor said he hadn't really seen any movie with Keira Knightley in besides the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And she's in this movie. She's the main actor. She pulls off a great performance. And yeah, just really interested to see what you guys think about it. Official Secrets.
I think that one's on Prime, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, that's fine. Give that a watch. Mine then. So my movie is a horror movie. I haven't watched this movie in about 6 years, but the last time I watched it, I did enjoy it. It is one of those movies where it's devoid of, well, you just need to not go in expecting an amazing plot.
I never do with your recommendations.
It is, it is an enjoyable movie. It's called Stay Alive. Don't know if any of you have seen it.
No.
No. So, I don't know where you can get that. I don't know if it's on YouTube, Amazon Prime, or Netflix. It is just a movie that jumped into my mind during the recording of this podcast.
Nice.
And I'd like to watch it again because I enjoyed it last time I saw it.
Epic. Awesome and awesomely epic. That's 2019. No, 20. Jesus Christ. That's 2020. That's 2020 gone. Sorry, I didn't even register this year as even happening. That's 2020 gone, lads. I hope we've all had a time. I hope we're still alive. Jesus Christ, was it a terrible, terrible year for all involved. But we can only hope for bigger and better things in the year to come.
Well, here's to 2020. 2021, fuck's sake.
Yep.
Let's hope it's better than this year.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the last 10 episodes of that's been released during 2020. Hope you enjoyed the wrap-up episode. That is this. And look forward to many of episodes being released in 2021. And hopefully at some point during the year we can actually get back to the old format where we get together and actually watch movie marathons.
Yeah. The whole reason we started this podcast. That'd be nice.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Well, we'll see. Thank you very much for listening. Stay tuned. We also have a Twitter now, and the @ is @SundayMoviePod. All lowercase. Give that a follow if you think you want to.
And please don't get that confused with the very well-known YouTuber, Mr. Sunday Movies.
Yeah. Okay.
See ya.
See you later.